Stop. So, I'm supposed to believe that a 12-foot bronze statue of a black woman scares you and triggers you, but this don't? Get the out of here. Welcome, welcome. I am Dena, and you are listening to another discussion with Dena. Grounded in the stars. That is what it is called. It's the new focal point of Times Square, an art piece that features one of the most beautiful, the most disrespected, loyal, and apparently the most hated person on the planet Earth. Ironically, she just happens to also be the mother of all civilization. I'm talking about the black woman. Evidently, her size, her attire, her facial features, and the fact that she may be representing a black woman has triggered some of you. But the question is, if she was skinny, tall, short, fat, regardless of her size and attire, in the words of Sojourner Truth, ain't she a woman too? Have you really asked yourself why does this particular depiction of a black woman triggers you so much? Let's discuss it. Now, this 12-foot tall statue of a black woman that has been erected in Times Square by artist Thomas J. Price. After all, it was purposely placed there among a sea of Caucasians with the intent to confront preconceived notions of identity and representation. And it has really spurred quite a response from various people. I mean, from all walks of life. After all, isn't that exactly what art is supposed to do? It is designed to be a conversation piece. Now, the question for me is, would this even be such a predominantly controversial conversation of concern in the black community if the artist had chosen to make this 12-foot statue of a black woman to have less so-called black features? Remove those braids, straighten, lengthen the hair, slim the waistline, give her some more Caucasian features. Surely you could have made her resemble the likeness of familiar icons in our community, like those of the caliber of a Beyonce, a Holly Berry, maybe an Alicia Keys, Rihanna, or even a Cardi B. Are not those the modern symbols of so-called attractiveness and black womanhood for some of you? For some of you, among the masses of the black community today, would not one of them better represent the black woman? I am sure many of you would agree. After all, is not that what you have been shown in to be the standard of black beauty today? But does that somehow exclude black women like Fannie Lou Hamer, Madam C.J. Walker, Shirley Chisholm, Big Mama Thornton, Harriet Tubman, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, Gabourey Sidibe, Aretha Franklin, or even Lizzo, from also being seen as beautiful women, for they are also representations of black women, and they are also very beautiful women, regardless of their sizes. For those who saw this image or looked upon this 12-foot statue of a black woman, what part of it actually triggered you the most? What exactly makes her image into a mammy in your mind? Sometimes we have to do some looking into our self and ask ourselves, why am I feeling this way? Where is the disgust that I have at the sight of this art coming from? Is it because I feel that black women are often misrepresented when this particular image, which is one of many representations of what a black woman could possibly look like? Is this black woman in your mind, or was it that she just didn't meet your standard of what beauty should be? I mean, what makes her a mammy? Could it be somehow that white supremacists inspired standards of beauty may play a role in what you see in your perception? Or perhaps it was more so that she actually reminds you or brings to mind someone you may be familiar with in your life, in her likeness. Could it be a friend, perhaps, a mother, a daughter, an auntie, or even a spouse, or maybe you yourself? Perhaps it reveals more about your own self-reflection and how you don't want to be seen or associated in this world by non-members of your community. I mean non-black people. How you don't want the world to see you. You see, what this 12-foot statue of a so-called big back black woman did was it revealed what lies beneath in the hearts and the minds of many of us, whether it be good, bad, positive, or negative. And that feeling that you felt upon seeing this statue for the first time. And you are entitled to feel any way you want to. That's your prerogative. But it divulges your own preconceived notions about black women in particular, and their representation and their reflection on you in your own mind and in your own life. Sometimes we have biases and we don't like to admit to that. But perhaps it showed your biases, your perception of what a black woman is or what you think she should look like. It simply activated your subconscious and triggered a response to what it is that you saw. And whatever that first revelation was in your mind, it speaks to your perspective on black women, in particular that black woman, how you see black women as a whole. Because black women, just as all other women from any other race of women or ethnic group, they come in all sizes. They come in all hues and personalities and with different dispositions. Even though we find that the media promotes the plastic looking or ambiguous mixed race as black, those with the shade or what is more acceptable to the so-called black society or closer to Caucasian, having Caucasian features. This is what they promote to us. And this is what many of you consider to be the black woman today. We rarely see actual black women with the more natural body type and prominent, unfiltered black features with kinky hair textures and darker skin tones featured in movies or in ads or publication. It's rare. You can usually name them on one hand. So many of us carry in our heads a standard of beauty that has been given to us over time through propaganda of what it is a black woman should look like or what she should embody. And more often than not, it is your oppressor's version that has been deeply embedded into your mind. So anything other than that, you reject. And is why so many of you found that art to be distasteful and rejected it immediately as a negative reflection of the black woman, even when we may know and have someone in our own lives that may fit this very depiction. That's not the only version. As I've said before, every group have different sizes, different personalities within it. But how it depicts the black woman has to be something nefarious in most people's minds. Like perhaps it triggered something deeply rooted, some anti black woman aspect within your subconscious being was brought to surface, and most of us won't admit that. But would this response of feeling had been the same had that been a Caucasian woman of that size, a Mexican woman of that size, or a clearly Asian woman? Just food for thought. You know why this art is getting the most attention? You know as well as I do. It's because she is a black woman. Isn't it most interesting how a black woman brings the most attention to any event or conversation? Wonder why that is. Must have something to do with us being the mothers of the universe and all. But just seeing this sculpture changed it from being art into some kind of revelation to so many people that made it okay to insult what we were looking at. Some of the comments were hilarious to me, but most were rooted in negative stereotypes and even some just bold racist remarks and hatred for the black woman herself. It is art, people. It is a mere statue meant to cause one to ponder. But here's my own impression when I saw this statue. Here is my thought process after seeing this art. When I first laid eyes upon it, it was quite impressive to me. I loved the attention to detail. I perceived it to be a black woman with a little bit of downtime. She appears to be unimpeded by what is the norm in her daily life. So just for a moment, she has a breather from the hustle and bustle of her everyday life. She is unconstrained and has no time restriction on what she can or must do just for today. I don't have to take you to the baseball park. I have no appointments. She has a free moment away from her chosen profession. Maybe she's a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, a secretary, a student, or maybe she is a stay-at-home mommy and her husband has suggested that she take the day off and enjoy a spa day while he handles the children and take care of the home. So in this downtime, perhaps she throws on her shirt and jeans and she is standing, pondering just how best to spend this free time that she has for herself. Should she call up a couple of girlfriends and share a spa day? Should she grab a beverage and just relax, go shopping, watch a movie, laugh with friends, or perhaps she would take a stroll through the park? Maybe she'll visit a museum and sit and finish reading a book somewhere in a park, or maybe it is a good time just to go see the travel agency to schedule the vacation that she has planned for her family, her hubby and her children to take later on this year. This is what I imagined when I observed this art. Beautifully created, well-designed art. It's an art piece, people. A 12-foot black woman among a sea of white men. It was a welcome sight to me. Just another thinking black woman pondering her next move. And like I said, we are entitled to our own views and opinions when it comes to art or anything. But why did the interpretation immediately become negative when it was associated with being a black woman? There is no denying the presence of small minds, limited intellect, and this anti-black woman hatred as well as black self-hatred. It continues to fester within. Even though it's cloaked, it is ever present. And it proves it has been completely internalized within many people's subconscious. And this triggered it. It is a question that comes to mind. Is it more important what others think of you or what you think of yourself? Can you imagine that? A 12-foot statue, art piece of a black woman causing all of this commotion. She was among a sea of white men statues, and it was put there purposefully. And all most people could see is the flaws and share their disdain for actual black women. Think about that for a moment. Some of the most hate-filled comments, some of the most negative responses. It simply reminded me of the words of Malcolm X. Those words echoed in my mind.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. Who taught you, please? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. You know, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God made you?
Was he right? You can accept that or leave it alone. Now feel free to share with me your thoughts on this topic. Like, share, subscribe, and leave me your comment on what you thought of this particular topic of discussion. I want to thank you for listening. Join me next time for another discussion with Dena. Ta-ta!
Brighter Than the Stars is about trying to communicate those dreams and communicate those inner worlds that we have, and sometimes we misinterpret with one another, to try and create an understanding and basically encourage empathy.
This concludes your daily discussions with Dena. Join us Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment.